Hey everybody, Sam Kaplan here, and I am officially 2.5 weeks out from my first national bodybuilding competition prep of this season. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the meals that I eat in the day to basically get shredded, or if you will, peeled for the stage. I'm eating right now about 2,050 calories, 185 grams of protein, 185 grams of carbohydrates, and about 60 grams of fat. That's my target for the day. I eat 3 meals a day. Right now, I've just woken up. It's about 4:45 a.m. So I'm gonna get my routine started here, starting with getting my food in the microwave, my first meal of the day, which I'm gonna walk you through. And then from there, I'm gonna do a little bit of posing practice. And then I am going to get to work for several hours, and then I'll get back to eating my food. Thanks for being here. I'm really excited to walk you through exactly what I'm eating. Hopefully you find it interesting. Here we go. All right, so I'm just out for my walk now, getting in a couple steps before I do my posing practice and record myself for Jeff for my check-in. Sometimes it's nice to go for the earlier walks. It's kind of peaceful before everyone else is out and about. They're still sleeping. Walk is nice. The one downside right now is it's a little bit smoky. Actually, it's quite smoky. I'm not sure if you can tell in this video. We've been hit pretty hard by wildfires over the past week or so. Like very, very hard. And the smoke's been really bad. But this morning, it looks like it's actually clearing up a little bit. It's not as thick. The air quality is a little bit of a problem. We can all feel it, not just physiologically, like you can actually feel it in your eyes and like you kind of feel it in your throat. But also, I think it has a little bit of a psychological effect. Not great, but I think it looks like it's clearing up. I actually see some clouds. Yeah, it looks like some of the smoke is clearing, which is a really good sign. So I'm gonna finish this walk. I'll be walking for about 35 minutes. Then I'm gonna get back home and then I'm gonna get set up, do my posing for Jeff. And then I'm gonna work for a couple hours and then I will eat my food. Okay, so I just finished my posing for Jeff. So I've got I got a video recorded that I'm gonna send him a little bit later today, so I'll get some feedback in my check-in tomorrow. Now I am going to go ahead and get my coffee ready. It's just good old-fashioned instant coffee. I sweeten it with a little bit of sucralose and have a little bit of skim milk in it. Both are measured. I've been measuring my skim milk and sucralose this entire prep to make sure that I don't start doing anything like incrementally increasing the amount of sucralose or milk I'm having in my coffee. My food is still simmering away in the microwave. I'll show you how that kind of all is going to play out in a little bit here. But without further ado, I'm going to get my coffee ready and then get to work. All right, so first meal of the day. All it is this wonderful Fairlife skim milk. So it's just milk that is fortified with a little bit more protein. And it's also lactose free because I am at least mildly lactose intolerant. Pretty calorie friendly, in my opinion. So there's 800 grams of skim milk in this bowl here, as well as 75 grams of quick oats, Quaker's quick oats. That's it. Those are the main ingredients in the meal. That's it. Pretty plain Jane. I do sweeten it with sucralose. It's pretty darn nasty, in my opinion, if you don't sweeten it. I think it tastes really good with some of this stuff in here. It's a zero calorie sweetener, but it's not actually 0 calories. There are some calories in this. What I do is I just measure, and I always measure the exact same amount of sucralose every day to keep that variable consistent. But there you go. As far as preparing this thing goes, so I already showed you, as soon as I wake up, I will stick this in the microwave for about 14 minutes. I know that sounds kind of weird. And then I'll leave it for a couple of hours and I'll just let it simmer and sit in the microwave with the door kind of open a little bit so that it can you know, it's not going to wreck the microwave from it, the steam and the water accumulation in the microwave. I've actually wrecked a microwave from doing that before. And then a couple hours later, usually this is after I've worked for several hours, I'll come back and I'll microwave it again because it's already kind of cooled down for another 7 or 8 minutes. And then voila, we have this lovely consistency here, which you guys might be thinking, ugh, but for me, I'm thinking, really thickens the oats when I microwave it, then let it simmer, and then microwave it again. And I just kind of, through trial and error, have figured out how to make it this consistency. There's only 75 grams of oats in there with 800 grams of skim milk. So it really thickens it out. It almost makes it pudding-like. And when you're on prep, for me, like, you kind of do weird things with food, but I really like this consistency. I eat it kind of slow, and it makes it more enjoyable for me. So there you go. As far as the nutritional value goes, so I'm just going to look over here. I got it recorded on my computer. The meal is 556 calories and 54.8 grams of protein. There are about 70 grams of carbohydrates and only 6 grams of fat in the meal. The milk is the main protein source, which is super important. It's also really high in calcium. I love including lots of dairy in my diet because calcium is so important for everything the body does. It's the most abundant mineral that's found in the body. Needless to say, it's pretty important. It's important for building muscle, keeping you nice and healthy for your bones and joints. Plus, of course, it's a high quality protein source. I like the oats because they taste good, keep me pretty satiated. They're an okay source of fiber. They're not an amazing source of food, but they're pretty good. They got some health benefits. I do eat vegetables, don't worry, but those are kind of saved for my second and third meals of the day. That pretty much covers it. First meal of the day. This is gonna hopefully satiate me until lunchtime. It's gonna be super, super delicious. There you have it. Time to eat. All right, so I have just finished working for the past several hours. I've eaten my breakfast and we're about to go hit the gym now. So what I've been doing, I never do this during an off season. This is purely usually within the last 3 months of a contest prep. I'll start to have extra caffeine before my workouts, more specifically in the form, and these are my favorite, Rain energy drinks. The only time I would have these is during a competition prep. I think these ones are my favorites. I mean, there's lots of different brands out there. You got your Red Bulls, your Monster energy drinks. These are by far my favorite for a couple of reasons. One, I like the taste the best, again, by far. And two, also the way the caffeine and the stimulants hit me. When I have a Monster, it's a really kind of an unpleasant, very ultra stimulative feeling. Doesn't feel very good when I hit the gym. I kind of feel hollow, but at the same time, like I want to run all over the ceiling. So I like these. Taste pretty good. So I'm gonna have this, and then we're gonna hit the gym in 15-20 minutes. All right, so we're back from the gym now. It is time for meal number 2, my lunch. And I just eat 3 meals a day, by the way. So we're not doing anything like 4, 5, 6, 7 meals per day, just 3 good square meals per day. This is the majority of it. It's this grilled vegetable turkey bowl, and I'll kind of let you know what's in it in a minute here, as well as these delicious sardines. Okay, so some of you might love them, others of you might hate them. I love them. So just kind of talking through this, what's in this meal is 500 grams of California mixed vegetables. So that's broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. It's a combination of those. 155 grams of zucchini. There is 180 grams of extra lean ground turkey. There are 2 omega-3 whole eggs, 200 grams of air fried potatoes, all mixed in this wonderful, super delicious bowl. You can see like it's quite voluminous. Like there is a lot of food here, lots of vegetables. Reason for that being, 1, I think they taste delicious. 2, they're lower calorie dense, so they fit my nutrition parameters. And 3, they keep me full, and they keep me full for as long as is possible, basically. And being this far into a contest prep, it's nice to try to stay as satiated as possible. I mean, I'm hungry for a lot of the day, but this certainly helps. Hunger is pretty unavoidable at this point, but we still do the best we can. I've been eating this meal pretty much the entire prep, and we've made 3 or 4 calorie adjustments since we started the prep. I've just been changing different ratios between like potatoes to vegetables, so on and so forth, to basically decrease the calorie content of this meal in particular as I've got deeper and deeper into the prep. And yes, we've got our sardines here. So the extra lean turkey is our high quality protein source. The vegetables, lots of fiber, very micronutrient dense, very beneficial for our health, keeping us well nourished during this deficit. The whole eggs, also a great high quality protein source. They're also a good fatty acid source too. We do want to include fat, some amount of fat in the diet because it's so beneficial for our health. It's also helpful for hormonal production like testosterone, which is directly correlated for muscle growth and muscle retention, which is really helpful. We've got the potatoes in there too because they taste good. It's a good carbohydrate source, a little bit starchier than the non-starchy vegetables. And then I love including these sardines, even though some of you might not love them, but I do. 1, because they taste good to me. I just sprinkle a little bit of salt on them. They're a high quality protein source, and they're also a pretty good source of omega-3s. And I'm also taking this vitamin D3. So I take about, depending on how much sun I get, between 2,000 to 5,000 IU's per day. Something else too, just so you guys know what the total calories, protein, the macros are of this meal. So I've just got my meal plan listed here. So total calories of this meal, 873. There are a whopping 75 grams of protein in this, which is a piece of cake, about 72 grams of carbohydrates and 31 grams of fat. Again, it's a good amount of food. There's a lot of protein in there. It's just the way that I like it. The 3 meals per day works well for me and my goals and my lifestyle. So there you go. So we are out for another walk. It's the end of the day, so I've actually finished my work day. What I typically like to do is end my work day with a walk, and then I go home and get my food ready, eat, and then unwind for the evening. It's been a very productive day, lots of work. Happy to be on the walk. The good news is the smoke is really cleared up. It hasn't been this clear for like 5 or 6 or even 7 days, I think, so that's good. Probably means that the forest fires are under better control. The wind's died down and it's nice and cool out, so that's good. And also it's nice to be able to breathe some actual fresh air. So there you go, no complaints. All right, so we are at the final meal of the day. This is it. So it is extra lean ground beef, zucchini, potatoes, and eggs. That is 555 grams of zucchini. It is about 175 grams of extra lean ground beef, 200 grams of air fried potatoes, delicious, and 2 omega-3 whole eggs. So, I mean, the extra lean ground beef, that's our high quality protein source. I like to include an unprocessed red meat. It's a great high quality protein source, but also it's high in iron and zinc, which is helpful for muscle growth and muscle retention, maintaining strength, among other benefits. I like the potatoes because, again, they taste good and they're a good carbohydrate source. They're also, they're okay for fiber. They're pretty satiating. And then I really like the zucchini. They're okay for fiber too, but they're just very low calorie dense, so I can include relatively high volumes of it for like relatively few calories. So I can eat a good amount, and that helps to keep me satiated. Again, this is the last meal that I eat before I go to bed, so I like going to bed feeling at least somewhat satiated and full, even though this is the tail end of this part of the contest prep, so some amount of hunger is pretty inevitable, but this pretty much hits the spot. The exact calories of and the macros of the meal, by the way, 604 calories. It is about 57 grams of protein, 24 grams of fat, and 43 grams of carbohydrates. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's dinner. From here, eat the dinner, then Rachel and I are gonna unwind for the evening. So anyways, thanks guys so much for following along this full day of eating. This is part of my contest prep. So we're getting real lean eating this stuff. Thanks again for following. If you liked the video, please like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. I'm really enjoying sharing the process of my prep with you all, so I hope you're enjoying it. We're just 2.5 weeks away from the first competition, which is crazy, so we're almost there. Thank you all for the support, and I will see you in the next video.